March 12th legislative session. At this time, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Michael Yearden.
Present.
Herbert Yearden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holst.
Here.
Roy Rehill.
Here.
John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Present.
Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist.
Here.
Stephen Walpool.
Here.
Lee Walker.
Here.
Christine Novak.
Here.
Dorothy Caldwell.
Here.
Robert Wilmot, been marked excused. Marie Schad.
Here.
Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson.
Here.
Joseph Bartolini.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Gina Bartlett.
Here.
Ryan Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, there's 24 present and 1 excused. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Would the clerk then please lead us in the invocation?
As we come together today, let us be grateful for the opportunity to live in this great country and to serve our community, for the chance to make a difference in the lives of our loved ones and the citizens of Oswego County, for the gift of each day in the company of good and decent people, and for the examples of courage and dedication they live out each day. May we be inspired today and encouraged to travel life's path with confidence and conviction. Amen.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by both Majority Leader Martino and Minority Leader Schott.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I trust we've seen the minutes from the regular meeting on February 11th, 2006. Motion by Twist, seconded by Klein. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving now to proclamations. At this time, I'm going to have the Public Safety Committee and the Oswego Fire Chief please come forward.
Okay, this is Oswego County Legislature for the Port City Fire Conference. Whereas the Oswego Fire Department will host its second Port City Fire Conference on March 14th and 15th, further establishing a regional forum dedicated to advancing the professional development, safety, and well-being of firefighters. And where areas, the conference places a strong emphasis on supportive training, education, resources that equip firefighters and emergency personnel with the skills, tools, and knowledge necessary to meet the evolving demands of public safety service, and where areas through hands-on instruction, classroom learning, peer-to-peer collaboration, the Port City Fire Conference fosters an environment that encourages learning, resilience, and mutual supporting among first responders, and where areas access to high-quality training and supportive resource strengthens not only operational readiness, but also the physical, mental, and emotional preparedness of those who serve on the front lines, and where areas the leadership and dedication demonstrated by the Oswego Fire Department in organizing this conference reflects a deep commitment to supporting fellow first responders and enhancing emergency response capabilities throughout the region. And now therefore, be it resolved that we, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the legislature and the people of Oswego County, to recognize the Port City Fire Conference and commend the Oswego Fire Department for its outstanding leadership in hosting the second annual Port City Fire Conference and for its commitment to providing, supporting, and training the resources for fire responders.
Good job, guys.
Good job. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
very much.
Thank you. Bumper car.
Thank you. At this time, if you've noticed some banners around the room here, 250th year anniversary, it's pretty nice little banners, if you get a chance to check them out. But at this point, we'll call the historical committee forward. Where's Mr. Wilbur? I guess we'll get back to him. What's that?
You want the historian too?
Yes. The historian and legislator will please come. And any others.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you'll permit me, I'll take my county hat off and I'll put on my President of NISAC hat. Counties throughout New York State this year are commemorating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. Counties actually existed before our country did. Our local governments have been providing those services even prior to the Revolution. So one of the things NISAC has done this year is they have provided a special edition commemorative American flag to every county in the state to commemorate the 250th. And I'm proud to present this to the legislature chairman and the county clerk for our county. The legislature, all of you, are the voice of the people of this county and the democracy that was created 250 years ago. And the county clerk is the holder and safeguarder of all of our documents and historic documents, and is also, his office is spearheading the events this year. So I'd like to present this flag to the county so that it can be used in all of our celebration events throughout the year. And we'll unfurl it here so everybody can see. Well, thank you, Phil, and thank you to NISAC. I know that on behalf of this legislature, we set up the 250th Commission. Legislator Rehill is part of that, of your body, and various members throughout the county community. We are really focusing on making sure that we're educating our school children as well about the local history and how that affected the 250 years ago, how that affected our great country. And here today with us, we have our county historian who's doing a great job, especially with the 250th Commission, going out and educating a lot of us in a lot of the towns and villages. And she's going to start with us here with a little bit of a presentation, and then she's going to be taking her show on the road, if you will. So you all have the new lapel pins that were designed by the 250th Commission. As you can see on there, it has the British flag, on
Onondaga's flag and Betsy Ross flag at the time, and our county seal. We also have some brochures out there with some information in it too. And there's a huge schedule of events, actually 2.5 pages of events that have been set up so far. Just a few highlights of them. I know that we had. Are you going to talk about them as well, the highlights?
Go ahead.
All right, well, we will send out the schedule to all the legislators, so you'll have that schedule. There's various events, right down to a film festival for our National Marine Sanctuary, and I think what's the one coming up at Richardson Bates House? Medal of Honor Day is going to be celebrated next week, I believe, at the Richardson Bates House. So go ahead.
Also the county fair this year.
Yes.
The historians have a building at the county fair. They always have had the Heritage Building. And they set up displays for, to represent the history of their towns. And we are hoping to really pack that building this year. So, and during the fair, we're planning an old-fashioned dance in the entertainment building. And anybody, it's free, anybody can come, dress in period costume or not. I will be wearing the dress. The history community knows this dress. I made a replica Revolutionary War era dress.
Nice.
Okay, so good afternoon. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Allen, the Oswego County historian. As we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it is only fitting that we pause to remember the people and events that made this great country what it is. Oswego County was considered an important place by the French and the English during the French and Indian Wars. The first fort in Oswego was built during this time. Throughout the Revolutionary War, the area that is now Oswego County was under British control. We were all British. Many of the same men who fought as British during the French and Indian War now fought the British as Americans. Fort Oswego, the predecessor of Fort Ontario, served the British as a supply depot and a base for many raids. In 1783, when the Revolutionary War was winding down, George Washington, seeing the importance of controlling the mouth of the Oswego River when the war ended, gave his last order of the Revolutionary War, which was for Marinus Willett to take Fort Oswego. Now, this raid took place in February during one of Oswego's famous lake effect snowstorms. Washington had told Willett that if he could not take the fort by surprise, to abandon the effort. The Indian guide became lost in the snowstorm, surprise. As a result, the group approached the fort after daylight and was discovered by the British. They turned around and returned to Fort Herkimer. Many of these men were badly frostbitten, so badly that they were crippled for life. Yet several of them returned and settled in the area, including Henry Bakeman, the only black patriot known to have settled in Oswego County. As a result of the failure of this mission, the British controlled Fort Oswego when the war ended, and the British did not surrender the fort for 13 years after the end of the war. Fort Oswego was the last place evacuated by the British in July of 1769. When I was in school, we learned about the French and Indian War, the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812. We learned that these wars were fought in the West. What they neglected to tell us was that at the time, Oswego County was the western frontier. It happened here. Oswego County is rich in history. I invite you to visit our historic sites, learn the exciting things that happened here, and celebrate our country and nation's rich history. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public speakers, resolutions of the day. Legislator Martino.
There are.
sir. The first struck, okay. Would Danielle Monahan please come forward?
I'm sorry, I meant to sign in on the other one.
Okay. Would Karen Oakes please come forward? Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Karen Oakes, and I'm a resident of District 4. I'm here today to briefly address a few items on the agenda. First, I wanted to applaud the legislature for drafting items PS4 and IT4 to schedule public hearings on the resolutions for the Animal Abuse Registry and for ATV use of public roadways at a time that actually accommodates members of the public. As with all of the rest of the business that this body conducts, these are important matters on which the public deserves a chance to be heard. So holding hearings at 7 p.m. actually makes that much more feasible for people. If only you offered the same opportunity at all of your other meetings, too many of which take place on weekday afternoons like this, when most working people cannot attend. Secondly, I wanted to join with all of those assembled here today to offer a word of thanks to our New York State government, which has come through with additional funding for mental health care and for mobility management, which is reflected in multiple of the HS resolutions on the agenda. These are essential services that our community relies on, and the additional funding from New York State will help Oswego County to meet those needs. An awful lot of the comments that we hear in this chamber month to month denigrate the state's role in supporting our community. So I think that it's important to acknowledge how much we do rely on New York to do right by our people. The county would not be able to provide expanded services in those areas without this support from the state. We can only hope that in the months ahead, as we really start to see the significant trickle-down effects of the federal budget cuts to Medicaid and SNAP, that we also will continue to be able to thank New York State for stepping in to fill that funding gap. Otherwise, those funds are going to be expected to come from Oswego County taxpayers alone. Covering the full cost of those cuts could balloon the state's budget by billions of dollars, but at least if it is borne by the state that distributes the pain across all New York taxpayers, rather than shifting the full burden to our much smaller and much more impoverished local tax base. That is how government is supposed to work. It shouldn't be about finger pointing or partisan blame games. It should be about everyone pulling together to support what is best for the most people and to share responsibility for making government a force for good. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Sarah Rice please come forward? Thank you. We have 5 minutes.
Hi, good afternoon. I have to apologize, I'm not much of a public speaker and I didn't realize there'd be so many people here today. But thank you for having me. I'm here to advocate for resolution PS5, I believe it is. It's in regards to the animal abuse legislative piece that you guys have in process right now. I am here to advocate for it. My husband and I recently purchased a home in Granby, and I am also a lifelong resident of Oswego County, specifically in Fulton. When we began our house search, the last consideration we had in our mind was looking for a home where we had to consider our neighbors that were surrounding our house. Unfortunately, our experience has been nothing but a learning process for us. While we've had nothing but positive experiences with the houses directly surrounding us, there has been one residence that has made us second guess our choices and where we live at this time. Our first fall on our property, we experienced our first encounter with these individuals as a note was placed on our door that their 2 large Akitas had attacked our chickens and killed one of our roosters. We had hoped this was a one-time occurrence. With further investigation, it became apparent to us that these individuals regularly let their dogs out unsupervised, with one being hit and killed on 176 back in 2021. Following the first event, these dogs had been on our property several times, including growling at me when I tried to assist them back to their home, as I watched them run down 176, almost being hit several times by vehicles. There have been several times that their livestock has also been hit on this road. We experienced no success after several encounters with these dogs and several requests for these dogs to be appropriately contained by the owners. The owners continuously make excuses, including blaming it on several of their children. Last summer, we lost 4 chickens on our property, as did these neighbors. I reached out as their birds were scattered across our property. 4 weeks later, I'm really sorry in advance, this is a very sensitive subject. A lingering smell was noted by our other neighbors bordering this property. Upon exploring more, the DEC was contacted as poaching was suspected, as a dead animal with a rope around its neck could be seen from the neighbor's property. When the smell persisted, our neighbors explored more and came to realize it was one of the Akitas that the neighbors had owned that was unfortunately shot dead with a rope tied around it, unburied. A file at this time was made with the state trooper's office, and they were told that this was legal due to the fact that the spouse at the time had admitted to the dog biting him. Following this, these individuals obtained another dog. These dogs also continued to go on our property and unfortunately recently killed our chickens just this past weekend. These dogs are not the problem, I want to make that very clear. Unfortunately, it is the owners controlling these dogs that are the problem. These dogs are constantly at risk of being hit on 176 or killed by somebody for killing livestock on their property. Let alone, this also puts my family at risk, along with my dogs at risk, who are on my property as well. With this being said, we've talked to law enforcement, and on their arrival this past weekend, when this happened again, law enforcement had approached us with, well, what do you want us to do? I work in a hospital-based setting. I don't make those calls. This resolution would provide an answer to this question, hopefully. For the safety of my dogs, their dogs, and other animals that surround us, I ask you to consider the importance of this. To go off of that, it's unfortunately very frustrating to see dogs living in filth and see them at risk constantly every day, running along roads that are extremely busy, and having children blamed for incidents like this, and then to also have to witness a deceased animal in that manner, it's not enjoyable. And to furthermore be notified by law enforcement that there's nothing that they can do about it. I think that this piece would be very imperative to addressing these concerns that law enforcement have themselves, that they unfortunately are at a dead stop and they don't know what to do with. So yeah, thank you for your guys' time.
Thank you. I didn't know you had perfect timing on your phone. At this time, I'd like to report to county officials. I'd like to invite Sheriff Hilton forward.
Good afternoon. I wanted to address the animal registry also. Despite the fact that I've been involved in law enforcement for almost 40 years, I wasn't told about a year ago that this young lady pointed out to me the nexus between those that abuse their animals and those that abuse their children. And I'm sure she can give you plenty of examples. This is Investigator Smith, by the way, of cases where she responded as an animal complaint and walked out of there with parents in handcuffs for abusing their children. It's just been, she's been doing a fantastic job for us, and I wanted to applaud her and Legislator Connolly for this legislation that they've been working on for almost 2 years. So I urge its adoption. It's needed, and I'm asking you to please pass it. Anything specific you want to say?
Good afternoon. My name is Lindsay Smith, and I'm a criminal investigator with the Oswego County Sheriff's Office. I'd just like to speak briefly about this topic and the formation of it. I'd like to tell you about my background both personally and professionally, and how the idea and need of this registry came into fruition here in Oswego County. I've had a passion for animals since I was a young kid, and I currently run a small homestead with my husband in Amboy where we have roughly 35 animals, many being rescued from local shelters or unfortunate situations. I began my career in 2016 as a road patrol deputy, and I quickly found my niche in law enforcement is investigating animal cruelty. In approximately 2022, with the support of Sheriff Hilton, Under Sheriff Toomey, and the rest of the command staff, I began immersing myself in education in this area of law enforcement while still working as a road patrol deputy. I have attended numerous classes on animal cruelty investigations hosted by the Humane World for Animals, formerly known as the Humane Society of the United States, the New York State Animal Protection Federation, and the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, to name a few. Investigating animal cruelty is a topic that I'm very passionate about. Not only have I educated myself greatly in this topic, I've also brought education to the Oswego County Sheriff's Office as well as other surrounding law enforcement agencies by coordinating with Humane World for Animals to come to Cayuga Community College in Fulton and teach 2 of their free law enforcement animal cruelty courses in March of 2024, which had a turnout of roughly 70 police officers. I am also a certified police instructor, and I teach an introductory course on investigating animal cruelty annually to police recruits at the Oswego County Regional Police Academy. Investigating animal cruelty is seldom done alone. I have built working relationships with numerous animal rescues, such as Paws Across Oswego County, Friends Forever Animal Rescue, and the Oswego County Humane Society, the Oswego County SPCA, and the Oswego City Animal Shelter, as well as veterinary offices such as Terra Animal Hospital, Fruit Valley Veterinary Clinic, North Country Veterinary Services, Black Creek Veterinary Clinic, Highland Animal Hospital, and the Veterinary Medical Center of CNY, which is located in Syracuse. In February of 2025, I was interviewed for the promoted position of criminal investigator, where I spoke to our command staff about how I felt that animal cruelty investigations needs to be brought to the Criminal Investigation Division. In my interview, I expressed that animal cruelty investigations should be handled as priority cases, no different than child abuse, because there could be and often is a life or death situation at hand. In April of 2025, I was promoted to a criminal investigator. Aside from animal crimes, I also investigate child abuse and internet crimes against children. Since being promoted, I have handled numerous animal cruelty investigations, made several arrests, and saved many animals from neglect and abuse. I have been asked within the last couple of years why Oswego County does not have an animal abuser registry. I have the same question. There are several other counties in New York State that have animal abuser registries, such as Albany, Allegheny, the Bronx, Broome, Cayuga, Chemung, Shenango, Clinton, Columbia, Herkimer, Livingston, Onondaga, and Saratoga, to name just a couple. I think that this is important because the number of animal cruelty cases we have investigated in Oswego County in the last few years has greatly increased. There is something in the animal crimes world commonly known as the link. There have been several studies that show that animal abuse can be a link to several other crimes, such as but not limited to child abuse, elder abuse, and domestic violence. Courts can issue orders of protection for children and abused persons, but we don't have that same order for animals, and I feel strongly that we need to change that. I think that it is important that we have an animal abuser registry so that we can continue to be a voice for the voiceless and further protect innocent lives. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Under report of county officials, happy to announce, you may have seen this, legislator Bombardo from town of Mexico has actually attended a downtown revitalization award ceremony in Casanova this past week, and he's proud to help with Mayor Grimshaw and the board there. What is exciting about that is they received $4.5 million towards revitalizing their downtown. So again, thank you, and thanks to the mayor. Any reports of standing committees? Any reports of special committees? Legislator Rio.
Mr. Chairman, as the chair of the Transportation Advisory Committee, I just wanted to recognize briefly the Mobility Management. They received the Impact and Excellence Award of the Greater Oswego Fulton Chamber of Commerce at their annual meeting last week, which was a awarded due to all of the work that they've done there, implementing the new app for the telephone that actually works kind of like Uber. You can order a ride, you can see when it's going to arrive, you can plan all kinds of things in advance with the app. Ridership is way up, and mobility management with Heather Snow at the lead also took delivery of 7 slightly used buses from a county that had retired them. She got them for $200 each, and we said we have about 200,000 miles, I think, left on each one of those. So just wanted to do a shout out for the department and how well the Transportation Advisory Committee is now attended. We had almost 50 people at the last quarterly meeting, which included Centro and just about every other transportation carrier that has anything to do with transportation in the county. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. At this time, we're going to transition just ever so slightly, if you bear with us. It's not that I got to be in the center, it's just the microphone.
Get your glasses.
Good. Thank you. Welcome to, good afternoon everyone, and welcome. This is their 2026 State of the County address. To the members of the Oswego County Legislature, our county department heads, employees, community leaders, and the residents, thank you for being here today. Every year, this address is our moment to come together, to pause and reflect on what we've achieved, to recognize our people, and to look forward to what lies ahead. And I'm proud to say the state of Oswego County is strong. In the past year, Oswego County has continued to embrace both tradition and transformation. We stand at the heart of Central New York's economic resurgence, a region marked by collaboration, innovation, and growth. With the expansion of the Micron Technology Project in neighboring Onondaga County, Oswego is positioned to serve as a key player in developing the workforce, housing, and infrastructure that will support thousands of new jobs across the region. Together with our Workforce Development Department, SUNY Oswego, City BOCES, and Cayuga Community College, we're expanding workforce development initiatives from advanced manufacturing programs to technical certifications that prepare residents for modern industries. The Oswego County Legislature has set the groundwork for our workforce, including the P-TECH program at City BOCES. This program ensures that we will be ready for any and all future jobs in Oswego County. We've reinvested in small business support programs with guidance available through our Economic Development Department and a strong partnership with Operation Oswego County. We know that the true growth is measured only by numbers, or not only by numbers. It's measured by quality of life, opportunity, and pride. I'd like to thank the Oswego County Workforce Development Team for their leadership in preparing our community for the future of Oswego County. Thanks to our County Clerk's Office and our Department of Motor Vehicles, nearly $1.7 million of revenue was added back into the county budget. These departments are committed to serving residents while remaining fiscally responsible. Through careful budgeting, strong customer service, and a focus on efficiency, the department ensures the local taxpayers receive the greatest value possible. Our infrastructure is the backbone of daily life, and thanks to our highway department, it's where Oswego County continues to deliver steady progress. Over the past year, We've improved more than 40-plus miles of county highways and bridges, and we've strengthened our stormwater systems, and we've modernized our highway equipment fleet. In partnership with New York State Department of Transportation, we've tackled long-term bridge replacement projects that ensure safer, more efficient travel for residents and businesses. Thanks to many projects our buildings and grounds team tackle every day, the projects are completed on time with pride and professionalism. For example, the repairs that are done in the Pulaski Courthouse, the Legends Field, Camp Zerby, and Camp Hollis, and at the Bunner Street complex that now houses the Health Department, the Youth Bureau, the Board of Elections, Office for the Aging, the Sign Council, and the Public Defender's Office, shows their commitment to our county. The entire team with Buildings and Grounds continues to manage the maintenance, cleaning, and safety of all our countywide facilities. Oswego County Department of Solid Waste provides disposal services for solid waste and household hazardous waste, and operates a pilot food waste composting program. The department is thinking ahead and planning for impacts of the Micron project, projected population growth and increased commercial and industrial activity, which will require expanded capacity and collection, processing, and market strategies. I'd also like to thank the employees at the Oswego County Airport. The airport was able to secure federal and state grants to the tune of 97.5% non-local spending for 2 major projects that include energy-efficient LEDs for the beacon and the rehabilitation of taxiways B and D. The county airport was very useful after the Novelis fires, as both the CEOs of Ford and Novelis came to the airport and were happy to experience the convenience and service. A couple of very important projects, infrastructure projects, include broadband access and water and sewer districts. Through the Community Development Department, this broadband project will take off this year. Broadband access is critical for education, economic growth, and healthcare. In 2026, we will expand high-speed internet service to previously underserved communities across our county. I'm also proud to say that as we move toward a future by advanced technology, we have dedicated professionals in our Central Services Department who are helping move our county forward. Additionally, Oswego County has embarked on a critically important initiative to establish its first county-owned water sewer district, beginning with the construction of a regional sewer transmission line from the town of Constantia to the town of the city of Fulton. This project, known as the Southern Oswego County Regional Intercept Sewer, the government would like acronyms, so it's SOCRIS, we will become the county's first owned regional water sewer district. One of the county's most defining roles are leadership in energy. For more than half a century, Oswego County has helped power not only New York State, but much of the Northeast. We are home to 9 Mile Point Nuclear Station and the James A. Fitzpatrick Nuclear Power Plant, which operates safely, efficiently, and with some of the lowest carbon emissions in the nation. These facilities have anchored our local economy, and they have supported hundreds of families and ensured that clean, reliable power flows to millions of homes and businesses. Our vision is not just to host energy, but to lead it safely, responsibly, and sustainably for generations to come. This year, our Sheriff's Office invested in advanced equipment, tactical training upgrades, and facility improvements to support our law enforcement officers in keeping residents safe. Our Sheriff's Department was instrumental in establishing the police academy at the former Cayuga Community College in Fulton, preparing for the next generation of officers. More than 30,000 calls that the sheriffs had last year. They're very busy. They remain highly trained and ready to serve the community. Additionally, the Sheriff's Office offered its first ever Citizens Academy, which was extremely successful. It gave our citizens a first-hand look at what our officers do every day. The Emergency Management Office, County Fire Coordinator, and EMT networks have strengthened coordinated response to severe weather and major incidents through joint training and preparedness efforts. This partnership ensures unified planning, rapid resource deployment, and effective incident management to protect the county during every major event. The E911 Center works with police, fire, and EMS, and they coordinate emergency services to keep Oswego County safe. Every year, nearly 100,000 calls are answered via the 911 center. We commend our deputies, our firefighters, and our first responders, the men and women who serve our communities with courage every single day. The health department has many roles that they play. They've been instrumental in helping with one of the greatest challenges, the opioid epidemic. They are leading the charge with nonprofit coalitions to increase prevention programming and offering counseling in schools. We're not turning away from this challenge. We are leading with action. The Oswego County Department of Social Services has renewed its focus on serving families by updating the department's mission and vision and providing staff training that reinforces a culture of accountability, compassion, and service to the community. I'd like to thank the department for enhancing visitation spaces for children, creating a more welcoming and child-friendly setting that supports positive family engagement. Excuse me. The Office for the Aging focuses on the seniors in our community. The department has moved into a new facility that is very accommodating for our seniors and staff. With over 250,000 meals delivered annually, it is clear that one of our priorities in the county are our seniors. Hats off to the Veteran Services Agency. In 2025, they interacted with more than 1,000 veterans and their families to include helping with compensation and pension claims, resulting in more than $3 million in claims. Additionally, the Oswego County Dwyer Peer Program is a peer-to-peer program to help veterans and their families negotiate the challenges of civilian life, from mental health struggles to reintegration into their communities. Lake Ontario continues to define our geography, our tourism, and our way of life. Thank you to the Youth Bureau and the Community Development Planning for their continued work with shoreline restoration efforts in the towns of Scriba, Mexico, and Sandy Creek. With the support of state grants, property owners and municipalities are better prepared to withstand high water emergencies. We've launched new initiatives to improve water quality, expand access to county parks and trails, of which promotes fishing, camping, snowmobiling, and recreational vehicles for families and visitors to experience the beauty of our region. Tourism continues to grow, and our tourism department is at the heart of putting Oswego County forward. They showcase fishing tournaments, historical sites, recreational trails, and our Legends baseball field, which brought more than $120 million to the economy in 2025. Thanks to our mobility management department, residents and visitors alike can get around the entire county with ease. Highlighted what Legislator Rehill had mentioned earlier. They're doing a great job. Additionally, we have events planned for the 250-year celebration, which will be celebrated throughout the year, honoring the Declaration of Independence and 250 years of freedom in America. Thank you. Our county historian has worked with the committee to plan and prepare for this historic celebration that we saw. When people talk about Oswego County, they often mention our fiscal stability. That's because we manage your tax dollars with care. I'd like to thank our departments that are always making sure that we keep our county fiscally responsible. To name a few, the offices of the county administration, purchasing, treasurer, and real property. We closed the last fiscal year under budget for the 12th straight year, and actually lowered the generic tax rate once again. We've maintained healthy reserves and reduced long-term debt. paving the way for continued investments in capital improvements. We've held the property tax rate steady without cutting core services. That stability allows us to plan responsibly, effectively, and with accountability to the people we serve. The story of Oswego County is one of determination and pride. From our industries to small businesses, to our farmers working dawn to dusk, to our first responders who risk their lives for their neighbors, this county is powered by everyday heroes. We are rural, industrial, farmland, and lakeshore. We're very fortunate to have our lake and river as it builds our economy and enriches our lives. With our marine sanctuary progressing, we can preserve our shipwrecks while strengthening our recreation and tourism. In the year ahead, we will continue to strengthen collaboration across communities. As I stand here today, I see countless examples of dedication and resilience. And I am reminded that leadership is not about a title, it's about service. And serving Oswego County is the greatest honor. But I can confidently say the state of Oswego County is strong, the finances are sound, the communities are growing, and our spirit is unbreakable. Together we will keep building a county that our children are proud to call home. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Oswego County. God bless America. I apologize for choking up. Moving to resolutions and motions. GC1 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing individuals, I can say that, to the Oswego County Land Corporation Board of Directors.
Yes, I have a list of people, and the terms will be ending on 12/31/26. We have Shane Broadwell, Lee Walker Hilliard, Joan Maverick, James Dowd, Edward Gilson, Ben Redwick, Angela Clary, Mark Casario, Paul Stewart, Marty Webster, and Linda Egan.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 24 in favor, 0 opposed.
I'd like to abstain, please.
Oh, you abstain, oh, you're on, okay.
I'll abstain too.
22 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 excused, and 2 abstained.
Thank you. Moving to resolution GC2 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing expenditure from the Development and Efficiency Fund related to the Advanced Nuclear Power Proposal.
Yes, this is where the county is entering into an active campaign to convince state decision-makers that Oswego County is the best choice to develop a new nuclear power generation site. We're putting up $7,500 from the Development and Efficiency Fund to run this, help run this program.
Thank you. And you saw some of that on the slideshow, so thanks for that. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution PS1 by Legislator Connolly.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for transfer from Insurance Recovery, Treasurer's Office, to Probation Department, Automotive Supplies and Repairs.
This is for a vehicle that was damaged when it slid on the ice. We're just looking to Insurance Recovery Fund of $3,091.80 to be put back into automotive supplies and repair.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for the probation department to accept the Ignition Interlock Non-Installer Enforcement Initiative Grant.
This is a reimbursable grant of $35,000 from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for the 2526 Ignition Interlock Non-Installer Enforcement. What this is it requires that all individuals that convicted of a DWI install and maintain an interlock device in any of the vehicles they own and operate. This ensures the driver will not be using alcohol or operating the vehicle.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution PS3 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Sheriff's Office, transfer from Insurance Recovery, Treasurer's Office, to Automotive Supplies and Repair, Road Division.
This is a request, again, it's an insurance recovery for $7,282.75 to put into auto supply and repairs.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 9 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution PS4 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 2 of the year 2026 entitled A Local Law Establishing a Registry of Animal Abuse Offenders and Prohibiting Animal Ownership by Animal Abuse Offenders within the County of Oswego.
So again, this is trying to establish. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to amend this local law as amended in the packet to reflect changes from the county attorney and district attorney.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion, second by legislator Twist. So the amendment, for clarity, is some updates and edits by the county attorney, some police, and also the district attorney. So, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Right.
Or 1 excused, thank you, Madam.
Thank you. So back then to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to HS1 with legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, Division of Mental Hygiene to accept additional New York State Office of Mental Health state aid for 2022.
This resolution authorizes acceptance and expenditure of $447,375 in additional New York State Office of Mental Hygiene aid for 2026 to support the supported housing program and assisted outpatient treatment services. This funding is 100% state aid with no local share impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, Division of Mental Hygiene to accept additional New York State Office of Addiction Services and support state aid for 2026.
This resolution authorizes acceptance and expenditure of $44,067 in additional New York State OASIS state aid for 2026 to extend the OASIS Vocational Services Program through June 2026. Funds will be passed through to the Farnham Services, which we have an existing contract and is 100% state funded with no local share impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services to accept a reduction in safe harbor funding for 2026.
This resolution authorizes acceptance of a reduction in New York State safe harbor funding for calendar year 2026, decreasing the allocation from $35,000 to $16,949. The funds support programming through the Child Advocacy Center to address the needs of trafficked and commercially sexually exploited children and youth in Oswego County. Funding is 100% state funded with no local share impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to EDP with legislator Chesbro, EP1.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing directors to the Oswego County Civic Facilities Corporation, a local development corporation under New York State not-for-profit corporation law 1411.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what this is for the civic facilities, and they meet about once a year maybe for bonding to help small businesses, and it will consist of the administrator, Bill Church, as well as our treasurer, and then the members of the IDA.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 excused, and you're abstaining. Yes.
Thank you. Moving to resolution EP2 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution declaring the intent of the County of Oswego to act as lead agency for the purposes of seeker concerning the County Route 89 shoreline stabilization project.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as any large project, especially when you have funding, you're going to have a lead agent that takes over and coordinates all the different agencies involved in it. And in this particular one, we're asking for the County of Oswego to be the lead agent.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, in the past, we've always had an engineering group lead. I'm just wondering why we're not doing that.
There are engineers on the project.
Correct.
The county's lead agency, because the county has County Route 89 and the seawall that's going to be replaced as part of this. So this will kick out a notice to the interested and involved parties of the county's intent to act as lead agency for purposes of the project. If there's objections, we'll find out.
Lead agencies are usually a government, but we contract with engineers as part of the project.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP3 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of a cooperative agreement with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation under BCL 11-2101, Salmon River 2A lot compactor pool.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, our Salmon River, with all the stuff that we do for tourism, and DEC recognizes that, knows that the compact pool is a place where they can improve it a bit for us. It is a parking lot where many of the fishermen come. They would like to do some signage, possibly even a porta potty at some point, and even help with docking for kayakers.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, this area is a very popular area throughout the year, actually, with kayakers that assemble there. There's a paved area that leads right into the river. It assists them to get their launch. It's certainly in the fishing season for the anglers, along with later in the season with the drift boaters launching there. This area, no cost to us. These improvements will help organize that area. This is also an entrance into the transfer station. It will help organize the traffic for egress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP4 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Workforce Development, and accept additional revenue for New York State Systems Change and Inclusive Opportunities Network.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is an additional $100,000 that we are being given by New York SCIAM, which helps with disabled individuals in their ability to keep jobs and to work and to learn.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP5 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification to increase STOA revenue and appropriation for the Office of Mobility Management.
Yes, we've been able to increase the STOA revenue by another $700,000 that wasn't even in the budget, which will help to be able to go through a lot of different transportation issues.
Thank you. Mobility management continues to impress.
Yes, they do.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution EP6 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of various make-ready applications in connection with the broadband project and waiving the county's procurement policy in connection therewith.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what this is that we have an agreement with various make-ready applications in order for our broadband. And we have this connection right now with, I'm trying to see, I wanted to bring up something. What it is we are simply amending this because we have to have make-ready applications through National Grid and also with telecommunications. So this amendment, we need to amend this resolution to include the telecommunications because the actual resolution only was talking about National Grid.
Understood. So, motion has been made by legislator Chesbro, second by legislator Twist. So the amendment, I think, legislator Chesbro has just laid out. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused on the amendment.
Thank you. So now back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion?
One thing I would like to add to this is that the second part of it is that we are waiving our procurement policy in the future because there's like 64 of these applications that can come in and they've only got approved 8 so far. So instead of having to bring every single time they get approved by National Grid or the telecommunication companies, we are having the chairman to be able to approve them.
Right. Mr. Mitchell.
And the department has sought similar waiver from the Connect All office at the state level on their grant procurement requirements. Make-ready applications with Grid or Verizon, there are only a finite number of companies that are allowed to do work near the electrical lines, and the proposals are being shopped to those vendors and depends on availability as well as price.
Right. So it's an expediency situation. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution EP7 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution creating 1 position in the Office of Mobility Management.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as you can see, our mobility management is on the run. They're doing a lot of things, increasing everything, so it is to the point where we have to have another position. And mobility management has been able to get this entire salary of this position to be covered by the grants that she's been able to get, so it's no cost to the county.
Very good. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Health Committee, Resolution HE1 by Legislator House.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting Article 6, Year 13 incentive funds.
Yeah, the Health Department has been awarded $23,084 participating in Article 6, Year 13 incentive, and that's to offset some of the incentive funds in the Health Department's budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 by Legislator House.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting New York State Association of County Health Officials Climate Mini Grant.
Yes, this is a grant offered to the Health Department for $2,962.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to infrastructure, Legislator Walpole with Resolution IT1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to delete 1 temporary part-time position in the Buildings and Grounds Department.
Yes, this position was originally created to shadow, so to speak, is for training. While a long-term employee was retired, and now employee is retired, it's no longer needed.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT2 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution issuing a credit to the Oswego County Land Bank Corporation for tipping fees.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as in the past, we waive the tipping fees with the land bank on their projects, when they demo and whatnot. It's in the amount of $100,000 per year for 3 years, and they've never come close to really using that, but it enables them when they have larger projects, kind of staff.
Understood. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an important forgiveness, I believe, on our part, as the land bank refurbishes many houses and brings many neighborhoods back up to pride level. And for them to bear the cost of sometimes a complete demolition would be prohibitive. So I highly urge that we accept this.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT3 by Legislator Walpole.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, information technology, new capital projects to fund various technology projects.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is in the amount of $675,000 for various projects. As we all know, technology is increasing, upgrades, renewals, and whatnot.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT4 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for a public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 3 of 2026 entitled A Local Law Amending Local Law Number 4 of 2022 permitting ATV use on certain county roads.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as written, in the past, we have opened several roads in limited areas, allowing ATV use as it was growing much larger, to help local businesses, get people sometimes where trails end and move to whatnot. Ultimately, the decision is on the local municipality as if they wish to do it, but this is establishing the public hearing.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Legislator Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to waive the rules for EP only.
Okay. We have a second by legislator Twist. So EP8 by legislator Cheslow.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this
Oh, wait.
resolution.
I'm on waiver of rules. Good catch. Any discussion on waiver rules? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good thing he's here. Resolution EP8 by legislator Cheslow.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving the execution of an amendment to the professional services agreement with TRC Engineers, Inc. regarding fixed-fee optical design services, Oswego County broadband network.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is all about our broadband project that we're doing. And what we have is we have one company that we're still working with, ECC, who are unable to do as quickly as we need some of the steps. So what we're doing is we are putting it onto another contract that we already have with another company, TRC. And to our advantage, this is going to cost less and it's going to be quicker. So I urge its adoption.
Very good, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Any miscellaneous business?
Mr. Chairman?
Legislator Taylor.
Chairman, I received a call the other day from a concerned citizen of it's a daughter of a constituent in a different district. Her concern was there was no available bus service at the Oak Street apartment building for seniors. The bus stop had been moved or relocated. So what are we going to do in the future to make sure that our seniors can still get around? I know the app is a great thing. I think the app is great. But you're talking about people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who are not very technically efficient. So what can we do in the future to make sure that our seniors can get to our doctor's appointments, to get to their grocery stores?
Well, I would offer for Legislator Rehill that Heather Snow, our mobility director, is very, very good on these kind of things. And I advise you to talk with her. Legislator Rehill.
Exactly, just communicate with her, she'll straighten it out.
Yes. She's actually done a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks. No other miscellaneous business? Look for the appropriate motion.
Motion adjourned.
Second. Stand adjourned. Public comment period. Legislator Martinez. What's that? I can't hear you.
I'm adjourned.
As I said, I look for the appropriate motion. I thought you said it. Call for adjourn. All those in favor of adjournment? Aye. Opposed? Now the hammer. There you go. Legislator Martinez. At this time, I would call Margaret Meldren forward. Maybe I stand. I'd look for you. You have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Chairman Weather, ladies and gentlemen of the legislature, and all of those present. My name is Margaret Meldrum. I'm going to start by reading a portion of an oath card that Sheriff Hilton swore to when he was elected sheriff. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New York State, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of sheriff of Oswego County to the best of my ability. If Sheriff Hilton's job to follow the law, not to cater to a minority of people who feel that their interests are more important than the rule of law. How dare some of you demand that illegals be afforded more protection than American citizens? How dare some of you say that criminals should not be arrested and deported? And how dare some of you imply that illegals should have more rights than American citizens? Like Sharice Wills, who spoke at February's meeting in support of our Sheriff's Department, I too am appalled at many of your depraved indifferences to the Constitution of our country and willingness to ask our sheriff to break the law to serve your special interests. These 12 million illegals who came into our country during the Biden administration came without vetting, without wanting to assimilate into our culture, and many came with fraudulent claims of needing asylum. According to the Department of Homeland Security, 18,000 of these illegals are terrorists. In our country, 40% of Muslims support the use of terrorism to support a cause or achieve an end goal. These illegals were not allowed into our country to make it better. They were allowed in my opinion, for votes, the dismantling of our culture, destroying our way of life, and the ultimate ruination of our country through the radical leftist agenda. Many Democrats have said that the most dangerous individual in this country is a white Christian male. I totally disagree. In my opinion, the most dangerous people in this country are the terrorists and illegals with criminal records who come here illegally, and those who have come here and committed crimes since arriving. The second most dangerous sector are those far-left Democrats who support these criminals and terrorists staying free in our country to roam the streets and commit crimes and heinous acts of terrorism against American citizens. After President Trump's State of the Union address, a Democratic activist by the name of Miss Cassie Pritchard said, and I quote, "On the left, we fundamentally don't care about crime. It's morally uninteresting to us. It's just a thing that happens in the world, like the weather. So really, we are willing to excuse it. So rape, murder, child trafficking, and terrorism are no different than bad weather?" I am growing tired of hearing the indivisibles continuing to implore the legislation to adopt a no collusion policy with the federal government and other outside agencies in regarding illegals, in essence asking them to break the law. How many of you in the legislature have also grown tired of hearing of this as well? It is time for this legislative body to act and adopt legislation that firmly states that the Oswego County Sheriff Department will collaborate and cooperate with all federal and other governmental agency requests and assistance with issues involving illegals. I am urging all the men and women of this legislature to carefully consider what it would mean to the residents of this county if you were to adopt a no collusion policy. It would be putting the safety of our residents and communities in jeopardy. It would allow known criminals with violent histories to remain free in our county. It would not be in the best interests of all residents of Oswego County, just a minority of people who place the rights of illegals above our very own citizens. St. Lawrence County, one of our neighboring counties to the north, recently approved legislation allowing the partnership of the Sheriff's Department with U.S. ICE through the program 287G, allowing deputies to check federal databases for immigration warrants on inmates in county jails. We should be doing this in Oswego County now. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the legislature, for the second time I'm asking and urging you to put forth a resolution allowing the Oswego County Sheriff's Department to cooperate, collaborate, and act in partnership with federal law enforcement as well as any other outside governmental agencies in aspects of identifying, arresting, and deporting illegals. I would now like to take a moment to honor Susie Byer, who was tragically killed in an accident with a semi-tractor trailer at a stop sign at the intersection of County Route 45 and 4 in Palermo. Rest in peace, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have John McDermott come forward? Understand, sir, you're from Rochester? Thank you.
Hi, I'm John McDermott. I'm here to introduce myself to all of you fine folks. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives.
We don't allow politicking in this chamber, sir.
I'm
happy that you're running.
Okay.
No
Let me say some things on some local issues.
Make sure you stay on task.
I want to speak out against the war in Iran. I think the best way to support our troops, and I do, is to not put troops on the ground in Iran. On immigration, I believe whether or not, where, when, and how the sheriff's deputies cooperate with ICE rightfully belongs with this body, not with the state or the federal government, but with you, the elected people of the county. And finally, I would like to see Joe Biden had the biggest infrastructure bill in U.S. history. The broadband cable expansion project that was mentioned earlier, part of that bill. Donald Trump, I know, wants to do infrastructure, and he should do the biggest infrastructure bill. He should do a bigger one. And that means investments in transportation, investments in housing, especially in existing urban centers like Oswego, and investments in electricity, bringing in the next generation of nuclear power and other types of electrical generation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I would call James Sprague forward.
Hi, Mr. Robert. Sorry.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hello. Some of you guys know me. Herb Yearden, 35 plus years. Mike Yearden. I'm a new code enforcement officer. I've been doing this for about a year now. Mike has brought me to classes. I met Jay. Ed Gilson talks in all our meetings for the town of Richland. Great job. He brings information from here. I'm bringing this up as a code enforcement officer. I'm the new guy. I'm not a know-it-all. I promise you that. The stack is this big in papers for our codes and zoning and such. But I bring here, this is Stephen Seifert. He's a gentleman who lived at 147 Skinner Road. He passed away October 12th, 2019, okay? And I bring him up because on September 5th, 2025, from social services, I got a call and an email from a Joe Wallenwander. They're asking if I could go and see if this resident at 147B Skinner Road would able to confirm that there's an actual resident there. Okay? So I have the tax map that or the image online that everybody can see. The problem with it is that there's squatters in there. And the squatters, every single year, come there and they pay the taxes, which are here, on 2 acres of property. It is $550, okay? The gentleman collecting the rent for the 4 campers that are there, the 2 sheds and the manufactured home, pays this every single year. Now, we can't kick him out because we don't have anybody to serve the papers to, because the man who owned the property died in 2019. So what's happening is you can continue to pay the taxes forever and just be a squatter there, and we are not kicking them out. So I see these homes that are crumbling and they're just adding on and there's no repercussions. It's fairly cheap to have this property for $550 a year, and then DSS pay for those places that are being rented out, including HEAP on all of them, and they're just campers. So I'm asking possibly maybe a land bank, somebody as a surrogate court, probate court, something like that, can come in and investigate these homes that nobody owns and say maybe we can take those over. Maybe we can put those back on the tax parcel and resell them. The land bank is a great idea, I think, because they can go in. I just learned from the tipping fees, possibly take the land down, resell it, redevelop it. But this is not the only home where I am at. There's lots of these that squatters in the village of Sandy Creek, they just pay the $700 and they just live there. They live in the garage, they live in the shed, they live in the camper. And we can't go enforce it because we don't have anybody to serve the paper to. The deceased person is gone. And now the question is, does this gentleman have a family member? That he does. He has a son who was in prison for life. Okay? So that's where it stops. So if Joe Public wants to go to surrogate court and probate court that lasts 6, 8, 10 months to even think about getting this land, good luck. Okay? But I think that if we investigate it from the county, I'm not sure how you make a law that goes in and says, look at this house, people are living in there. That guy died 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And we can't kick him out. So it's very frustrating. So I just wanted to say that. I'm not sure what the step was for that. I wasn't even sure if I was going to talk today, but thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you for bringing that forward. Actually, I have talked to the treasurer in the past, and I believe that there is a process, and that is through probate court, if there is no heir, to actually go and try to make a claim of the house that is no longer owned by a person who's alive. So it hasn't, the deed hasn't changed. I think that's something we should look at, because I know for a fact there's others as well in my community where this is happening as well. They just pay the taxes and they squat. So I think we can talk to Kevin and talk to the county attorney and try to address that. As I think that would be important. Thank you.
Yeah, we just had a little side conversation on that one, so yes, I think we should look at it. Thank you. Would Patty Famolo please come forward?
Got all choked up there, you almost made me cry.
Well, you're going to do it again?
Good afternoon. I'm Patty Fanwell. I'm from District 19 in the town of Oswego. I've spoke to you many times about the no collusion policy that I would like to see executed in this county. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, that Ms. Meldren, have you ever read the policy? Because it does not ask anybody to do anything illegal. It does not ask the sheriff to protect undocumented people over citizens. That is not true. So if the sheriff is here, or the undersheriff, I would hope that you could put an end to that kind of misinformation that many of these legislators also clapped for. This is not true. If you've read that no collusion policy, it says nothing of the kind. Nothing of the kind. To single out Muslims, to single out Latinos, to single out people of color and denigrate them. I just cannot possibly know why anybody would clap for somebody that supported that. This isn't really what I was going to speak on, but I would love to go back to the Public Safety Committee meeting where the no collusion policy did not get out of committee. Unfortunately, the sheriff or the undersheriff were not available that day, and there was no one from the department who was familiar with what the resolution said. So it was very unfortunate that that was not moved out of committee, because it deserves to be debated here in this body, that the public can attend and we can try to sift through what is fact and what is fiction. And that I think the people of this community deserve that debate, because every crime statistic that I have ever read, and I would stand corrected if you have one, immigrants commit the least crime in this country. I'm not saying that they commit zero crime. I'm saying they're among the smallest group of people in this country when it comes to committing crime. And that no one in this community wants violent criminals to go free. I don't. You don't. I'm sure the sheriff doesn't. What I am asking the sheriff to do is not to spend our tax dollars in collusion with the federal immigration officers who already have billions of dollars of our tax money, where children are being detained in warehouses. We're in the process of building more. And most of the people in these detention centers, which does include about almost 4,000 children, are not violent criminals. So if you can show me statistics that contradict what I'm telling you, then I would ask you to not just clap when there is inflammatory rhetoric, whether it's from somebody here, they have, their First Amendment rights, they can say what they want. But you are legislators. You should be upholding what is truth from fiction. And because our president isn't very good at it, doesn't mean that we can't be good at it here in Oswego County. And as far as the state of the county, and I've lived in Oswego County for a very long time, and we still are in the top 10 counties of people living in poverty. And the federal cuts that are coming, as Phil Church could attest to, because he's president of the New York State Association of Counties, are going to be devastating to our most vulnerable people. Thank you.
Jim Buchanan, please come forward. Thank you, Chair. 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about how poor the county is, but we really don't talk about how poor the county is. Or why. People talk about generational wealth, but not many people talk about generational debt. When I went to college, you could afford a community college and not take out loans. Our families' help is needed. Now parents are trying to pay off their student loan debt and can't afford to save money for their kids' education. Tuition's higher than ever, and the children assume debt to go. Parents want the kids to go to college, even though it makes more debt for them, and then the cycle repeats. When I was a kid, most people owned their own homes, and at least one of the kids would most likely inherit the home or buy the shares the other kids were given and able to afford it at a lower price. Now a lot of people don't own homes and live in apartments, and there is no house to inherit. The entire system is now making it harder than ever for 2 people making minimum wage to afford housing, much less saving for college. People who are college graduates can't afford a house because of college loans and other debts. Add trying to care for parents, and a lot of your constituents are barely making it. The median household income in Oswego County in 2023 was $68,461, which actually dropped from what it was in 2020. You look at Realty.com, Oswego County, the average price per house is $215,000. Fulton's $164,900. Pulaski, $335,950. Must be the river. And the median rental price in the county is $1,400. In Oswego, if it's 6% interest for 30 years, you'd have to pay $1,300 a month, or approximately $15,000 a year just for your mortgage. If the median income is $69,000 a year, which it is, and you take out 15% deductions, that leaves them with $58,000 a year. That means their house would be 25% of their total income. You look at approximately $1,008 for a family for food per month, that's another $12,100 a year, or another 20% right off the top. No utilities, no upkeep, no nothing. Then we look at the unhoused population, which unfortunately people don't like to do. There's no agreement on numbers, which range from 300 over 900. Either way, what the county's doing about it, not much. There's other organizations. There's a young lady back there named Rachel, Haven for Hope, who was trying to do something about it, and zoning closed them down for now. Now, before anybody gets upset, I understand zoning, but I think that needs to be really looked at. People think that homeless people have done something wrong. That's not usually true. There are mental health issues, there's all kinds of issues. I heard recently something I think is very true for a lot of people in this county. People are just 3 payments away from homelessness. Could be 3 house payments, could be 3 apartment rent payments, 3. I understand there used to be a poverty task force. Maybe it's time to resurrect something like that. Maybe it's time, a group to look at ways to get more non-governmental agencies involved in helping our residents. A group to look at actual numbers and try to get resources for them. Maybe we could look at using some county resources to spur other entities, like churches, to assist more people, help with zoning issues and educating the public. I saw some real cooperation between the legislatures across party lines during the March Standing Committee meetings. I applaud you guys for that. I really did. Maybe we could get that energy into something that would help all our constituents. Now, just a couple issues with the state of the county. No mention of food security or insecurity. No mention of income-based housing, which is sorely needed. Not income for people who don't have money, but people who are making minimum wage, $35,000 to $70,000 a year. Nothing about that. No mention of mitigation for upcoming cuts and cuts caused by the big, beautiful bill. No mention of things that families are trying to deal with right now every day. To the lady who spoke earlier about the no collusion policy, I read it, Patty's correct. I would ask you to have the sheriff look at the 5th and 14th Amendment. Maybe you'd like to look at it too. It says all people are due process, not all citizens. So if you think they don't have rights, you don't think they're people. That's wrong. Also, I would want one correction to the chairman. In the future, it might be nice to use the term no campaigning, not no politicking. This entire room is nothing but politicking. Thank you.
Would Danielle Monahan come forward? Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, all members of the legislature, and all who are here for this opportunity to speak today. What I want to speak on is a very flawed system that we have in our transportation realm, and that's the MAS system. As a business owner of a local taxi company, we've applied multiple times to be an MAS vendor or to transport, and we are consistently told that there is no need for ambulatory, non-emergency medical transportation at this time in this county. That leads me to a few issues. MAS rides are being rejected by cab companies that are partnered with the MAS for the citizens in the farthest out areas in our county. They're being very underserved. We personally have a contract with ConnexCare to pick up clients that MAS has left behind as these medical facilities are getting ready to close. These clients, usually in the most remote areas of our county. We also have a contract with Oswego Health to pick up clients during hours where MAS rides are not available, as we are the only cab company open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week within Oswego County. These times vary greatly, sometimes starting as early as 5 p.m., going through the night until 7 or 8 a.m. Total rides in 2 months with our Oswego Health contract that they've paid to us is $2,106.65. This is coming from their budget at a local level to help people who have funding at the state level. Clients that we pick up from these programs often voice concerns about long wait times or just being forgotten about altogether and missing appointments, and sometimes even being discharged from important medical care due to those missed appointments. Currently, there are no local MAS cab companies available on Sundays in Oswego County. That means people aren't supposed to have emergencies on a Sunday. How are they supposed to get home? If you look at a Facebook group called Pay It Forward Oswego, you will find numerous requests for people just looking for an MAS provider who will not forget them, will treat them with respect, and won't leave them hanging. The wait time currently with a lot of these MAS providers is upwards of 2 hours. Imagine having a 3-year-old at a doctor's appointment or at an emergency room and being expected to wait for that with that 3-year-old in the middle of the night. They're tired, they're cranky, they're not feeling well, and now you're waiting 2 hours for a cab company to come and pick you up. I personally think this is absolutely absurd and unacceptable. I urge you as the legislator to pass a resolution to the governor to bring MAS back down to the local level, utilizing a broker such as the Office of Mobility Management for 2 reasons. Number one, we've seen the growth that they've created within our transportation infrastructure, but also their understanding of the needs of the residents of Oswego County. Thank you.
Thank you again to all for attending. Have a safe journey home. I'll see you back here April 9th. Thank you.